Hey everyone, it's Mace1370. We are back for another RTA Climb video. Before we get into it though, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, please see the video description below for a link to my Discord where you can find all of my unit stats. Okay, so trying to get a hold on the meta here, it's extremely chaotic at the moment, is the long and short of it. I think pretty much stuck with pre-banning AOL Bellion for now. I tried Sage Ball for a bit. I kind of like having access to him sometimes. So Spectre first pick is I think still very strong when Bellion is pre-banned. And there's a lot of like kind of cleave, counter cleave shenanigans going on at the moment. A lot of Vine for speed. Maybe that'll die down closer to the end of the season. Right now everyone's a speed demon. The opponent has taken Conquer Lilius and Karina in response to my Spectre. I take Lua. She's good into both. And now I'm not really sure who to take. I have to watch out for Ran, so I think taking Aiden is okay here.
I'm here.
Since Aiden is a really potent combination with Ran, because it prevents the opponent from taking Designer Lilibet, or it makes it a lot harder for them to do that. The reasoning there is Ran uses his skill 3, and if Designer Lilibet wants to use her skill 3 in response, she's probably going to miss on Aiden and then trigger Aiden's counterattack. So if you have squishy units like Spectre Tenebria on your team, they're just going to get wiped from the Ran skill 3 and then the Aiden skill 2. So that was kind of my reasoning for the Aiden pick. I wanted to deny that to him. He takes the Ran. Designer Lilibet feels kind of bad into Karina. Like, she's not going to reset her because she'll have ER. And then she'll just get defense broken and probably die. Interesting. He takes the Hawk. So this is tricky, and this is something I didn't appreciate when I did this draft, is Karina is kind of good into Aiden, since if Aiden counters and kills a squishy unit, like Zahak in this example, it's going to push Karina up. So I take Zio here. I wanted, to ensure I have first turn. I need another speed threat. So I take Zio, and then I take Euphine, because that's a bridge with Zio. Probably a bad pick, since he'll probably just ban the Zio, and then my Euphine is kind of worthless. He takes Sid. That's really tricky, because I think this guy's very fast. So yeah, I think I'm checkmated here because of the Karina situation. I could ban the Karina, but then he's going to be in a spot where his Conqueror will probably outspeed my Lua. I think that's actually my best chance to win, though, is ban the Karina and just, hope for speed RNG, basically. Because I think my last two picks were not great. I think maybe the Ran was fine, just because it's kind of a must ban, but I needed a different final pick. I'm not sure what that would be, though.
I always give my all.
So my thought was, I'll ban the Conquer Lilius, and then my Lua will cut in between the Ran and the rest of his team, but at this point I had forgotten about Karina. And this is all predicated on Aiden dodging.
Are you ready?
Which does not happen. So I think Aiden dies. Yep. Okay. And so now we're just Omega dead, right? We can skill 3, but even if they're reset, they're just going to plow through my squishy units, so that's game.
You aren't even fit to kiss my feet.
Opponent has first pick this time. He's taking the Spectre. I will take Lua and
I'll be the one deciding how this
Aiden?
story ends.
Airwell is pre-banned, so is
I have
Conqueror.
something to protect.
So a little bit different situation compared to last game. Interesting. He's taking Eaton. There are a few people that pick Eaton on the ladder. Eaton is quite a bit of mitigation. Hovering the Rimuru.
I desire your flesh.
Opts for Archdemon Mercedes instead. So I kind of want to take Ran here just because the opponent's going slow and doesn't have any cleanses yet. And so those defense breaks I think would be pretty deadly. So I think Ran is fine. The problem is that both Ed and Delibet are up, and so if he takes both of those in response to my Ran, I feel like I'm going to have a very hard time interacting with him. So I think I need to take one. I guess I take Ed. Feels kind of bad though. If I take something that combos with Ran, like either Caesarea or Ida, is that bad? Because he has 2 picks, he can respond to that. If I take Ida, he could take like double green like Senya and Garmin or something like that, and that would be pretty annoying to deal with. Because then at that point the only threat I have is Aiden. I guess Lua could reset Senya. I guess he could take, yeah, like Destina Senya or something. I think the Ed isn't like completely worthless because there's, you know, a chance that Spectre might splash into him and poison, and I could get a counterattack that way. You know, or a blind from Amer or something. If he gets sealed, then he's useless, and then Ran is going to put immunity, so I don't know, maybe Ed was not the greatest pick. I haven't been drafting Ran really until now, so I'm kind of figuring out how to use him again. I had the Aiden, so I guess I didn't really need to worry about Designer, so maybe I shouldn't have just taken the Ed. I could have just taken some other fast, high damage thing like Strays. Could have been okay. Or, I guess I didn't need to take Briarwitch yet, since Briarwitch is kind of a counter for Destiny, and he hadn't picked Destiny yet. We'll take Summertime Iceria last here, just to combo and then ban the Cleanse, but he's just going to ban Summertime. So we're just kind of going to have to rely on defense breaks to get through his team, and hopefully that, with the Lua reset, can give us enough time to break through. Yeah, so there goes the Summertime ban. The fact that he doesn't have a cleanse means that Aiden is going to be kind of scary for him. He can't touch Aiden until Spectre takes a turn and can, you know, reset her passive, basically, with a non-counterable S1. Don't think we need to sleep anything yet, because Ran's going to go and just wake it up, right? And this is an important thing with using Lua, is using your S2, S3 correctly. When I first started playing with her, I would just always spam S2, S3, but there's definitely situations where you don't want to use your S2 right away.
If you won't step back, I'll slash your justice in two.
Okay, we get Beguile on everything, and we also get defense breaks on most things too, including Yolha, so this is interesting, kind of a low ER team. I guess he's like super bulky, or maybe he has some effectiveness. Archdemon counters, which is not amazing. Luckily doesn't proc there though. Okay, so we can just skill 3 here. I kind of want to hit the Archdemon because that'll reset my cooldown, but I think I need to just go into the defense break on Eden and get rid of him.
Take note for future reference. This is what a perfect cut looks like.
That is a tanky Eden. So yeah, skill 3 should finish him off. I was debating about using skill 1 there. I was just afraid it wouldn't be enough damage. And leaving him alive would be pretty bad. Okay, interesting. He doesn't go into Aiden there. I assume he's going to go into Aiden. Oh no, he doesn't touch Aiden.
There's no escape.
I guess he's going for the Ed kill. Ed barely hangs on. So he could skill 3. Doesn't do that. I feel like he was a little greedy with this, because now we can sleep Archdemon. He could have skill 3 there with Yolha and taken out one of my DPSs.
I'll be the one deciding how this story ends.
Yeah, now we just tunnel down the Yolha. She'll cleanse, but she's pretty back on the CR bar, so we just have to finish her off before she takes a turn. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that.
We still have hope.
Yeah, this heal has 0 effectiveness because my Aiden just debuffed her.
No value to me.
Rand takes a turn. Very nice.
Take down anyone who interferes with me.
Ooh, we RNL into an S2. Man, RNL is such a fun artifact. So now we can skill 3. Might as well burn it, I guess.
Whether you win or lose, is determined.
We don't get it on Yolha, but we kill Spectre, and we defense break Archdemon. So he can kill one of my units here with the skill 3. He goes on Aiden. Okay, that's okay, because Archdemon is blinded. Oh, and we can skill 3 with Lua now. Nice.
You will be forgotten.
And now Rand can go into Archdemon. I wonder if he can finish her off with this defense break. Nope. But we have skill null, so I think we're chilling. No proc, we take that. We can sleep again. This may just kill. Yeah, it does kill. Nice. Okay, can we kill Yoha before she gets a skill 3 again? 2 water units, doing their very best.
It's never a good idea to get in
Ouch.
It looks like somebody forgot their place.
I guess if my Lua hits, she might be able to defense break. Oop, Arnell again.
I'll take down anyone who
Into a skill 2.
I'll show you the path to victory.
Alright, we defense broke her before. Maybe we can do it again.
Show me what you can do. If you won't step back,
We crit.
I'll slash your justice in two.
Nice. Ooh, into Arnell.
I always give my
Wow, what a great artifact.
I'll be the one deciding how this story
It's
ends.
only natural. But still, I shouldn't brag.
Okay, this guy pre-bans Sea Lilius and Lua. So I'm going to take Spectre again because I have first pick and Bellion's pre-banned. I'm going to take my lifesteal one, mostly because it's on immunity, to be honest. And I feel like, you know, people that use these pre-bans, like they're trying to play standard, and sometimes they'll flex into like Pirate Flan and stuff like that. So having immunity on the first turn can be really valuable to prevent, you know, yourself from getting, you know, burned and bombed and whatnot. Well, he takes Arowell and Destina, so definitely a standard player. I'm debating if I want to do an aggressive draft. I could take like Ning Ning and Briarwitch Iceria. That would be pretty aggressive, you know, because Arowell probably has barriers, although there's some people out there who don't skill up her rune tree or whatever all the way, her skill tree, and don't have barriers on their Arowell, which I think is kind of funny. I guess you're basically saying I'm willing to be a little worse against standard to be a little bit sneaky against aggro. I feel like that's only worth it if you're really struggling against aggro. I guess I decided to go with Hand Guy here. So slightly less aggressive. I guess I already picked the Lifesteal Spectre, but then I take Biceria, so I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe Ning Ning would have been better. I guess Zeo is still up. Hard to say. Probably fine. I think Ning Ning is fine. I've been cheesed by people. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where you run into a lot of like very weird, like little kind of like niche decisions, like the barriers on Arowell, for example, and it can make the difference in the game. And it feels very frustrating because some of the time when it happens, you're like, okay, this was obviously like very good in this situation, but I feel like it's bad in a lot of other situations, and that doesn't feel very rewarding, you know, when you're on the receiving end. So he takes DJ Basar and Apocalypse Ravi. So this is a solo DPS Apocalypse Ravi, because we can ban last, right? So we can take Alencia. That's a strong counter to APOC. He probably needs to ban that. And then we could take... I'm debating about taking Maid Chloe just to have a revive, but I have Briar Witch, so that's a little nonsensical. If I didn't have Briar Witch, maybe I would take a Reviver. I'm just going to take DN, and I hope she's geared. It looks like she's kind of geared. I think I put her on like a higher ER build, like 250 or something like that, and she's slower, so she's not like the zooming DN anymore. But DN is good against APOC because of the anti-crit, right? So it makes it hard for APOC to do damage. So I guess that's okay. DN does have barriers though, which is not great against DJ Basar. So we're going to try to kill DJ Basar really fast, and hopefully that means that we don't get punished, right, for the barriers, because both Handguy and DN have barriers. I'm trying to think, who could I have taken last here that would have been okay? I mean, I could have taken LQC maybe, but he has Airwell, you know, and Airwell can stun, so that feels kind of bad. There's a decent chance LQC would just never get a turn, because he could ban out Handguy. Could have just taken Ning Ning, I guess. But I might like damage then. Alright, let's we can just save our Handguy skill 3 for now.
You challenge me? Fine.
I'm debating if I want to burn this. And I think I do. DJB didn't use skills, so we can get value here. We burn this, we defense break DJ Basar, we push up with our DN, Spectre skill 3s into DJ Basar, and that is a dead DJ. Oh, that's a counter Aravi, and that took away our passive on Briar Witch, which is pretty unfortunate. But we went back into Guiding Light, so she's okay for now. Yeah, so we'll boost up here. The one thing I don't love about this is going to push Briar Witch to cycle a lot, which might pop her out of stealth. That's kind of our lose con. If Briar Witch stays in stealth, I don't see any way how he could win at this point. Because solo DPS APOC is just not going to do it against DN Handguy, right? There's just no way. Like, we're going to cycle like crazy, and he's going to have to deal with anti-crit, and he can't res. Okay, so he gets rid of the defense breaks, that's alright. Let's see, do I want a skill 2 or skill 3 here? I'm debating about skill 2 in the APOC. I don't think we need to just yet. We have barriers already. Yeah, we'll just skill 1 and save it. You know, since we had the barrier from DN already. We can get the Handguy barriers next turn. And we're getting an attack buff with DN here on her next turn. He's gonna go into DN, ouch.
In the name of the goddess, I'll illuminate the darkness with the full potential of love.
I'll do anything for her.
Maybe I should have skill 2 there with Handguy. I don't think it matters too much.
I made it in the nick of time.
Alright, he's going for the stun and strip on DN, but I'm pretty sure she's high ER now, so I don't think that'll happen. Yeah, she resists. Does give him a barrier, though. That's kind of annoying.
Don't be afraid. Foolish.
I was hoping he was going to boost APOC, so APOC would take a turn before Briar Witch, but that didn't happen. He was smart. So I think we just go into Arrowwell. We don't want to touch APOC with Briar Witch because APOC is counter. But it doesn't matter, we don't Guiding Light, so that means that APOC is going to be able to get their skill 3 off. Oh, and it's Crimson Seed? Okay. So, yeah, here comes the skill 3. And it misses, but still kills. However, fun little interaction. If Briar Witch is alive on that kill, it does not get the revive. So he did get the kill, but he does not get to revive. But he can revive with Destina now. I don't think that's going to matter because we're starting to get momentum here. And take out his stuff. So even if he revives with Destina, it's just going to die again. Yeah, that's game. Alrighty, this game is against Tetsu, one of my guildmates. We get first pick, and he's banned out the 2 openers. I'm still going to take Spectre here. He responds with Arrowell. And Handguy, so that's a pretty standard opener. You know, we don't have Conquer Lilius, but we do have Ran, so I think Ran Aiden is an okay pick here. The Aiden is nice because if he does take the Ed, it makes, you know, the counterattack a little less, you know, painful on our part, since it usually pushes the Aiden up, and, you know, Aiden can, you know, then respond by S3 and something with defense break and killing it. It also kind of denies the Designer Lilibet. So I think we can take Ran Aiden okay here. An alternative pick could be Faithless Lidica, since there's no Lua or Conquer Lilius to punish that. Leica is still up, so we could potentially take Leica. But then he's picking 3 supports there right in a row, which means he's playing solo DPS, and he would have to reveal what that DPS is here in the 4th pick, which means we could probably just draft 2 counters to that DPS and then be okay. So I think it'd be pretty tricky to take Leica. So I think Faithless Lidica was a safe pick as well. She's good into Handguy because she can just reset him, you know, prevent the buffs. And then you could potentially go into either a cleave or a debuff type comp. Let's see, so he takes Ed and Karina. Karina is kind of a tricky unit right now. She's pretty annoying to play into. I'm not really sure what I should take here. I haven't done a ton of games with Ran Aiden, so I'm not really sure what the best pivots are. Like right here, I'm not sure if you're supposed to take units that just counter the DPS and kind of, you know, abandon the aggro strategy. You know, Shu is like a great example. She counters Ed pretty well. You know, there is a Handguy and a Airwell on the enemy team though, so, you know, she can get stripped and then stripped and stunned by, you know, 2 units. Which is a lot, so maybe she may not be the best, but she does counter Ed pretty well. The problem is, I think Karina would just kill her with defense breaks. So I take Zio and Yufine here. This way I don't have to worry about a speed threat last. Picks ML Ball. And I don't think I care about Ball because we have Aiden. It's going to be hard for Ball to press skill 2. If we have the Aiden, right? We defense break with Ran. If Ball uses skill 2 and misses, then Aiden's going to clap back into skill, or into defense break. Actually, you know what? I think we need to ban the Ed, but for some reason I think, oh, I can just ban Handguy and just YOLO. So that was a big misplay on my part. I think if we ban Ed, we win here. Because if we ban Ed, he pretty much has to ban Zio, because otherwise we get the Zio-Lua combo. And Zio Yufine combo, and Yufine is just gonna delete, right, his Karina. So we can get attack buff. I think we just, you know, given the situation we have, we just run it and hope Ed does not give us bad debuffs.
Are you ready? Don't forget this feeling.
He hits Aiden, which on the one hand is a little unfortunate. On the other hand, I guess that's nice because if ML Ball S2s, then Aiden's going to clap back into all the defense breaks, and that's bad for him. So he can't S2. So I guess in a way, fortunate that our Aiden got hit there. But, you know, this should be Handguy, right, instead of Ed, so the counterattack never would have happened. I mean, we'd basically be where we are here, you know, without all of the debuffs on ourselves. So a big misplay for my part. Yeah, now Ed has CR boosted himself up, so he gets to go and just kill Yufine. Whereas if this was Handguy, we would have probably put Stigma on Handguy, and I doubt he, you know, if Yufine is in front of him, he wouldn't get the turn, right? So, yeah, Yufine would just go and kill something. That's kind of frustrating. Misplayed pretty hard. Well, we can kill Karina now. And this will put invincibility on Ran, so Ran will get another turn, even though he slept.
Know your place.
So let's see, who do we kill? I guess we just go into Arrowell. I don't think we kill Ball, so we just have to kill Arrowell. We don't want to give Ball enough health to, you know, enough missing health to skill 3.
The true knight picks their battles wisely.
If I were him, I may just, like, yeah, go into Arrowell, and then even if you miss, Arrowell will probably do enough damage to enable your skill 3 on Ball. I guess not. Yeah, because all those shields were there. He can probably, honestly, he could probably just skill 3 the Aiden and kill her. She had almost no health, but he goes for the sleep on Spectre. That works too, because you don't want to give Spectre another turn. This will, I guess, misses Rand, so that's fortunate. Does Rand live? Rand does live. Okay, we can finish off Arrowell. Get rid of our silence. And now we have to hope for RNL magic. Spectre is kind of low health. I don't know if she can survive another Ed S2. To be honest, I think maybe I just needed to go for it. Yeah, this is too much damage. This is going to kill Rand even with a miss. We have immunity at least. We can kill Ed, but I don't think there's any way we are going to be able to kill this Ball.
Oh, you want
I'm debating maybe if I should skill 3 into, maybe skill 3 and into the Ball was the play and just hope we kill. I don't think we do though.
I will step on you.
Yeah, this is like 16k to Ed. Ball's probably as tanky and he has more HP. It would have been close.
Play with me.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. Ball's on proof. I probably wouldn't kill with proof. Alright, that's game.
Come, I'll take your life.
Alrighty, our next opponent is Windrider. He has an interesting set of pre-bans, Rowana and Lionheart Sirmia. Those two are used to counter Aiden sometimes. You know, the idea is that you miss on Aiden and then Aiden counterattacks, and that's gonna, you know, use proc Rowana's passive as well as Lionheart Sirmia's passive. He leads with Conquer Lilia, so I think just taking Stenny Lu is fine. Apocalypse Ravi is picked next, which I think is also fine. Lu is good into APOC. Like, she's really good into APOC since you get to reset her, you know, S3, so she can't res anything on the first turn, and then you also Beguile the team. And Beguile's damage is based off of hit point percentage, so since APOC has a lot of hit points, Beguile's going to hit even harder. And then he takes a third pick, Solitaria. This is a demonic draft. I'm not sure what to do with this. But we have a lot of debuffs on the enemy team already, because Solitaria is going to debuff every turn, and then Conquer Lilius is going to debuff if she ever wants to press her buttons. So on the one hand, you know, Ed would be really good against both of those, but he can be a little sketchy into Aravi, since Aravi is, you know, just such a big hit point sponge. It can be hard for Ed to finish her off. If you get good debuffs, then it can help. So I thought about Ed. We decided to go with DJ Basar and Briar Witch Asaria. So the Briar Witch will deny APOC the skill 3, right? So she can't res. And DJ is here just to make sure that we get a turn with the Solitaria on board. He takes Hand Guy and Celine. I feel like now that I see the whole draft, it would be very safe for me just to take Ed. And we can ban out APOC, because that was my hesitation before, was the APOC. But we don't really care about Celine. We don't need to press any buttons if we do this either. Like, we can skill 2 with Lua, which is an attack, and that'll sleep the Conqueror. So that prevents the Conqueror from, putting up Vigor on the team. And then we can just go naturally into our Braceria turn and just kill everything, basically. We honestly probably could even boost up with DJ Bassar if we wanted.
It looks like somebody
Check
forgot
the
their
speed tuning. Alright, we definitely want to sleep Conquer Lilius.
Disappear through the cracks of time.
Okay, she is slept. Now, the question is, do we skill 3?
Story ends.
Honestly, it's like looking at it, it's actually probably fine to skill 3 here. I didn't, because I figured, Solitaria can at worst push back my DJ Bassar, but then Braceria still takes the turn. So what's he doing? Is he? Yeah, it looks like he's skill 3ing, pushing back, resist.
What'll happen now?
Yeah, actually, in hindsight, I should have just pressed skill 3 on Lua. I don't know why I didn't. Here we can proc, and it doesn't really matter if he goes into Braceria because we have, the invincibility. But he has the random target one. He goes into DJ Bassar. Doesn't kill, so we can just boost.
I'm amazed by my own talent. Losing to us is an honor.
Secret Art Swordstorm is pushing Celine up quite a bit, and she cuts the turn.
Victory is within our grasp.
Yeah, actually, I kind of played this really poorly. It doesn't matter because I think the opponent's draft was bad, but I didn't need to press buttons on DJ. I could have just passed the turn. I wouldn't have gotten hit with Warhorn because if I didn't skill 2, DJ would just take 1 turn. And then I could just naturally go into, Briarwitch skill 3. But I think it's fine. We can just press this. This will knock Solitaria out of stealth, and Celine out of stealth. Hand Guy can cleanse it, but doesn't matter because Ed is just going to kill Celine. And once Celine is dead, Ed can solo his entire team. Because even if he holds all of his buttons with Conquer and Hand Guy and never debuffs Ed, Solitaria is here and she will debuff Ed and trigger him every so often. So we can just burn. Yeah, so ignore how I played this. I didn't play this well, but we won anyways. Yep, that is a dead Celine.
Never fight a losing battle.
All fade to ash. Eventually. Oh, you want to try me?
We finally run into somebody who bans Aiden. This guy has had enough. I sympathize. Aiden is pretty obnoxious in the meta right now. She is kind of a cornerstone of a lot of very aggressive and cleave drafts, and because she's an evasion unit, it introduces a high amount of RNG into many games. So when you're playing aggressively, there's so many interactions that could trigger Aiden. All of the openers, usually have abilities that could trigger her, like Rand, stuff like that. And the fact that she counters back can then be played around with things like Rowana and Sirmia, and you can even bring Aiden onto your team so that they can't bring Lilibet into your Ran and stuff like that. But there's always that chance that any draft you structure, you're going to have to base it around either Aiden countering or not. And if you're hoping for one thing and you get the other, right, it's a 70-30 split. Things can go wrong very quickly. In addition to that, you have things like Zeo, and Euphine, which a really powerful combo if it works, but there's the 15% on Zeo, which seems to happen, way more than 15%, just with confirmation bias, but it's an interesting meta, to say the least. So we have kind of a similar situation here as the last game, and I think, like the last game, the top 3 I've taken are pretty reasonable. This time, the opponent is going with Leica, so another speed opener. Which I don't think I really care about so much. I mean, I guess Leica could sleep Spectre on turn 1. That would be annoying. But he can't sleep Briarwitch Assaria. Maybe if Conquer Lilius goes first before the Leica, and could strip, that would be really bad. But my Lou is pretty fast, so I don't think I need to worry about that so much. Okay, he takes Ed. I feel like an immunity buffer could be good here. We can just take DJ Bassar. This way, we have a reaction to the either Conquer Lilius, you know, strip and provoke, or to the Leica sleep. So I think that's fine. And now we need a DPS who can deal with the stuff the opponent's doing. And I think it actually might be LQC. LQC works into Ed, right? She doesn't debuff, so she can kill Ed. And she can one-shot a Ravi. She has immunity, and she keeps immunity up, so she's not going to get slept by Leica. And we have Lua and DJB to protect against Conquer Lilius's strip. So I think we're okay. He bans out DJB. We take the first turn, though, because we're better at the game. We can go ahead and sleep Conquer Lilius. I think that's worth doing, probably. Deny one of the dual attacks. So you may not necessarily like want to sleep every time, like I mentioned before, but here I think it's worth it because we have LQC, and we really want to make sure LQC gets a turn. So, you know, this opening rotation is very important. We want to minimize the amount of damage she takes in the opener, because that's one of the ways we lose is if he's able to nuke down the LQC. And, you know, a C. Lilia's dual attack dragging like Ed or A. Ravi could be more damage than we can tank. I guess it would CR boost us a bit, but yeah, I think if he, like, for example, oh, he got a duel here, so you can see how much more damage this is. If he had ripped the Ed skill 3, we would have, I think, it would have been a little dicey there, especially if APOC gets like pushed up or something before LQC can take the turn. So here I don't even want a skill 3 because I don't want to push APOC up and I don't want to proc Ed. I think we can skill 3 and kill Conqueror. That's probably worth it. He can't res because we have Briar. I was debating if I wanted to go into the APOC there just to ensure the kill, but we have a good number of stacks on LQC and we can just soul burn her, so that should probably get the kill. Oh, I guess actually, you know what? He couldn't skill 3 with Ed because Lua, right?
Excuse me.
Okay, Crimson Seed goes pop. Regardless of whether Ed was reset or not, I think the point still stands. You know, you can also get 15% on the reset, so I think it is worth sleeping C. Lilius there. So now that APOC is gone, I think the opponent is pretty dead. Probably just kill Leica next. Could also just go on Ed and try to burst him down. He's farther back. Oh, we don't crit.
You have no
Awkward.
value to me.
Yeah, actually, maybe just going on Leica was better. Oh, you know what, though? If I went on to Leica and I killed her, then I might accidentally go into Ed and proc his skill 2, right? So this was all calculated.
I'm telling you, this is an endless nightmare.
This guy is ranked 12 when I fought him, but honestly I don't recognize his name at all.
You aren't even fit to kiss my feet.
He pre-bans Conquer Lilius and Ed. I respect the Ed ban. Ed is kind of a menace right now. He first picks Spectre. So what do we want to do into a first pick Spectre Tenebria? I'm debating about just taking Rand and Aiden. He bans out Conqueror, so he can't respond with that. You know, Lu is a good hero, but she doesn't do much into Spectre. Spectre doesn't really care if she gets reset. It's almost more of a benefit because you get to hit 2 things right away. And she brings Book, so she can just soul burn into her skill 3 if you want to use it that turn. I think I mentioned in my previous video that I've been trying to brainstorm, you know, ways to open into first pick Spectre Tenebria. I think the kind of the answers that seem to be the most consistent are just playing like a standard game. Depending on the pre-bans, you can do that. Kind of like, you know, Destina Yolha or Destina Arrowell, something of that sort. You have to watch out for Briarwitch, obviously. And another option is to go very aggressive, like with Ran Aiden. I think it's actually okay if you have your account built around doing that. And then another, I think, opener is like Conquer Lilius, and then DPS. Could be like Briar or some other safe-ish DPS, maybe Aiden. Yeah, so you have options. So here, because they took Destina, I think we definitely take Briarwitch. And what else do I want to take? You have to be a little careful because Zeo is still an option for the opponent. But I think Briar is really good here, especially since Ed is pre-banned. We could take Zahhak. He's okay. If the opponent goes speed here, so if he goes like Zeo, another speed threat, I think that's okay for us, since we have Ran, who's very fast, so we can ban the Zeo, and then our Ran is going to be, I think, arguably even with whatever he picks. Because Ran is 315 here. So then we have one more pick to potentially contest. So I could take another fast unit. Or potentially, depending on what the 2 picks are, we could ban Spectre and take something, you know, that's like a must ban. It would depend on what he takes. So my plan with the Zahhak here is that he can boost the Briarwitch and give attack buff, which is always nice. And he can also boost Strays if I want to take Strays. And that's kind of what I'm angling for here, is I want to be able to take Strays if possible. And the only thing that would prevent me from doing that would be a double speed threat here on the 4-5. So he takes Apocalypse Ravi, which I don't think we care about. I think we can just take the Strays. I think we're fine with APOC. We have, I think, multiple somewhat decent answers into it. We have Zahhak, who can injure, which is always nice. We have Briarwitch to prevent the res. We have Aiden, who can, you know, go into a dark unit and do more damage. We have Ran, who can defense break. So I think APOC is not necessarily an issue. We have to ban the Zeo, though. That's for sure. Because if he bans Ran or Zahhak and we leave him the Zeo, then we just lose. Okay, he bans Strays, which is a shame. I wanted to do the Zahhak Strays combo that the guy did to me in the last video, where you go into whatever his highest hit points, injure it, and then Zahhak kills it and the you know, the next in line, like Destina. Although maybe that doesn't work with APOC, because it's kind of hard to know. Yeah, because the APOC probably has more HP than the Destina. Because that tech works when you can kill Destina, and then he can't res. But we have Briar, so it's fine. Okay, we can just go ahead and skill 3 with Ran. Of course we're going to land all the debuffs, because we're the best at the game. We don't, but we get a defense break on Apocalypse Ravi, which is probably the one we needed. You know, we had 2 green units, so probably not going to hit them. Shame we didn't get the defense break on Spectre Tenebria, though. But with attack buff, she should probably kill Spectre anyway, so I don't think we need it. We also did not get Stigma on Aravi, which is a little bit annoying. So yeah, I think we just go into APOC here. We'll injure her a lot, and this will really diminish her ability to do anything for the rest of the match. And almost kill her.
I accept your blood as an offering.
Look at that injury. Zahhak is just chilling with invincibility. He's such a cool hero. I love his design. His skill 3 animation is also pretty awesome. It goes into Aiden. I think this is you know, the Hail Mary play. If he just one-shots Aiden, puts him in a decent spot, But I think he's still dead because Briar just comes behind and kills him. So that's it. See you next time.